Hello folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing my 2004 Ram 1500. It has about 236,000 miles on it, or no, 234,000 miles, but it's still in a great condition for the year, and it's got a 4.7 liter Magnum V8 motor in it. It's pushing out around 235 horsepower with, I don't even know the pound-feet of torque, but I could care less. It's still a truck, it still does truck things, and let's get into it. Okay, so doing the walk around, it's going to be a very shaky video because I'm not very good with my hands, but I got the video now sideways like this. But I'm going to point out the major flaws of this truck. Cab corner on the driver's side is rusting out, including the door right here where somebody had slammed the door into something. I don't know what, but it was rusted out. You can see they tried to do a horrible paint matching job, and I did just put back to black on my plastics yesterday. And it really brought the black out of this. The door handles really don't give it the back to black feel that you think, but I have a toolbox on here. The toolbox door handle. You know, I'm just gonna quit making videos because I can't even say what I want to say, and when I'm thinking about it, I can't even speak. But the toolbox button to open it broke the other day when I was getting ready to open it, and it kind of fell off. It disappeared into here, but I finally took it off and got rid of it. The other side opens just fine now. It's a little bit of a struggle to push it open, but it still works. I think it's got like a 28-gallon fuel tank in here. I don't really know, but this truck was sitting for a very long time. I will put the images up on screen of the before and after of this truck now, right here. And this truck had been sitting in my uncle's yard for about 5 years. He just let it sit to rot because he didn't feel like doing anything with it. But for the 2004 and how long it sat, it's still got a beautiful frame. No major like rust on this frame at all. I mean, even if you look down there, there's no spots on this truck where rust is a major problem, besides the cab corners and possibly some of the areas on the truck, like on the fenders and the wheel wells. But even the bed, even the wheel well itself, like none of this is plastic. It's all metal, and yeah, there's still some holes in it because the bed looks very horribly trashed up. You know, this truck was used for a work truck. I don't even know why that was spray painted black, but it is. Pretty decent rims. They do have some pretty bad curb rash, but the tires on it now are not going to be the tires that I keep. I just recently put mud flaps back on it because these are original. I plan on getting more mud flaps for the front too, and just genuinely making this truck look good. I plan on putting Mickey Thompson 3s on this truck with a set of mud terrain tires. I think that'll look good. I'm not putting a lift kit on this truck. I'm not putting a leveling kit either because genuinely, let's back up here. This truck looks good without a leveling kit. This truck generally looks good in my opinion. We'll get to the interior here in a second, but let's head to the back of the truck. This truck, I just put a brand new bumper on this not too long ago, this past year actually. The tailgate is the only major flaw in this truck that I dislike, because the right side bushing over here has completely auto-deleted itself and doesn't exist. It does have an aftermarket hitch on it under here, and yeah, the the area where the spare tire would be, that place rusted out because of the thin steel that they used, or aluminum, whatever you want to call it. But this hitch is in impeccable condition. It's a giant, massive hitch, so it can tow more than what it's rated for. But the rear end of this truck doesn't look too bad, actually. I'm not too heartached about this. These are brand new tail lights. The tailgate, the reason I want to get a new bushing for it is because if you look right there, you can see a dent from where the bumper has been. If you put weight on this, the bumper is pushing in the tailgate, and it's very evident on this side, even though the driver's side bushing is still there. There's still some flaws with this truck, and even the underside of the tailgate is starting to disappear. But I just recently lubricated everything, took off this piece here the other day and lubricated all the latches with WD-40, even up here with WD-40, took all this off. Under here is the tailgate handle latch, and I lubricated all the components for it, and it's working now. But as you can tell, that bushing right there is completely gone. This one is still kind of there, but it's not there as much as I'd like it to be. That's why it's still hitting on this side, and there's a major gap between here. There's still, even down in there, you can still see some rust that this tailgate has been getting over the years. But I might cut out the bottom of this tailgate and fix all that. There's the bed, somehow not rusted out, especially for this year. You'd think some of the bed corners or some of the bed studs would be completely gone on this truck, but no. This bed, the only holes in it are where people were poking it and prodding it with things that they shouldn't have. The only major rust spots on the bed are these little areas right here by the strap holders. I think these strap holders are aftermarket to this truck. I don't really know. I don't really know the history of this truck, besides that it was a son-in-law's of, I believe, a dealership owner, and the dealership owner, his name was Geno's. They are out of business now, so though I wouldn't go looking for them. But yeah, these are the only two major rust spots on this truck. But the tailgate still works. And another major thing about this tailgate is somebody dropped this. Apparently this was a truck for state highway here in Maryland. So this truck was abused for a decent amount of its life. But what I will say is that these Dodge emblems are still amazingly beautiful. They shine really good, especially the Ram 1500 things right here. Like, they shine beautifully. Alright, let's come over here and look at, oh, look at that little bug. Get off of there. Anyway, it's got a aftermarket exhaust system on it. It's not loud at all. I'll start it up for you guys here in a little bit. Another major rust spot is right here, but it's still very solid, especially the bed arms. They are not gone, and the frame on this side still has its black color to it. And another same story with this side. Nothing is completely rusted out like you'd think it would. But this side of the truck, the door does have a really long scratch in it where somebody drove along something. But over here, the truck is still amazingly beautiful. In my opinion, this truck is a really good looking truck. It has some design flaws, but you know, it's fine. Alright, now that I got the hood open on this thing, here is the 4.7 liter Magnum V8 engine. It's got a lot of dust on it because I haven't washed this truck in a long time. But give or take, I got this truck from my grandfather, who had bought it for $400 from my uncle. And it runs, it drives, it has, this motor in general is amazing. It works beautifully. Magnum V8. Man, this is it. I will say the acceleration on this thing is horrendous, and it works beautifully. Let's get to the interior. Before I step into the interior, I want to mention something really cool about these aftermarket tow mirrors. These are meant to be on a 2500, but they're the fold-up mirrors. And one cool thing about these is that they make the truck look decently bigger than what it actually is. They make it look like a 2500, and I genuinely think that's pretty cool. I don't like them out. Some people ride with them out like that, and I personally think that that's pretty stupid. But as we get into the interior here, it's impeccable condition for the year. The dash is not cracked, as the second gens had a major problem with that. But with this truck, I think they really improved the dash on these 2004s and the 2003s. After 2002, they went with this new body design with the more modern look, because all the major brands were starting to go with the more rounded look rather than the boxy feel. Dodge really went with the rounded look, but they kind of started going with more a modern style interior and body style. But this has, I think this is the lowest package you can get in a work truck. It doesn't have four-wheel drive. It's a two-wheel drive. It's got two haul. It's got the 1-2 drive, neutral, reverse, and then park. As you can see, I have Polaroid pictures in the dash of just this truck in general. It's got all the gauges on this truck work. It's beautiful. Let's get into the interior and shut the door. Let's zoom out the camera. Let me zoom out the camera real quick. All right, now that I have the camera zoomed out, this thing does have a beautiful rear view mirrors. Everything in here is from 2004. I have not changed anything besides this thing is the only thing that I changed. Why is my hand glowing? I don't know. But this is the only thing I changed because this was being not so good, and it wasn't changing from hot to cold, and the air vents were still working fine. But another thing that I have to fix is that the passenger side is only blowing hot air when I turn it to cold air. So the driver's side blows cold air, hot air all day, works just fine, but the passenger side mostly just blows normal lukewarm air because it's the motor's stopping halfway, kind of like that. Like if I turn it to cold, it'll get cold over here, ice cold. Over there it's semi-cold. It's not really blowing that much. It's kind of blowing what the air in the cab feels like already. But if I turn it all the way hot, this will blow really hot air, and this will blow really hot air. So the blower motor in there that switches from hot to cold is not working properly. Like if I open this up, don't mind the stuff in there, but like it's up in there somewhere, it's behind this, and it doesn't work. And I don't think the passenger airbag works, because every time I put the key in the ignition, I get an airbag thing on the dash, as you'll see when I go to start this truck up here in a little bit. But overall, it's got leather and then fabric. The seats have seat covers on them, but the driver's side seat has a big hole in it right here. See if I can pull. Yeah, it's got a pretty bad hole right there, but we're just gonna cover that up and pretend that doesn't exist. And another thing is, if I push here's my left hand. If I push back hard enough, well, now it doesn't want to go down, but sometimes this the thing down here, the lever that makes you go back a little bit, sometimes that doesn't want to work, and like right now it's locked into place. I don't know why that's working whenever I try to make a video, but now it's working beautifully, and we'll just forget about that. Passenger seat is in phenomenal condition. Let's get rid of my key real quick. Let's fold this up. This is also leather. I don't know why they made this leather and then kept the other seats cloth. That's kind of annoying, but you know, can't always win in life. But another cool thing, it's got a center we'll just leave that there. Just get back in there. We'll just pretend that doesn't exist. But overall, and also amazing storage space back here. Here's what I'm going to be fixing my seat with. But overall, amazing storage space. Don't mind how dirty it is. This is all my shotgun and jumper cable crap that I leave in here. This truck does not get driven because right now it's still under the works of getting inspected and legalized on the road. So right now it just kind of just sits around, and I run it every now and then. It's like a little yard work truck. But one of the major problems with this truck is that just comes out. Don't mind me getting angry at it. But it goes right back in and pretends like it doesn't exist. And also the cup holders. You have to bang it to get it out. I also really like this storage pocket that they have right here. It's actually, this is a very useful pocket. Like, if you just have change, it's pretty deep. Like, that might, give or take, my hand is about the size of the dash, and it almost fits my whole hand. That's how deep it is. And same with this little storage pocket. Like, I mean, it's the most useless thing in the world. It only holds change, or little, like, pocket change, or little dollar bills, but it's useful enough for what I'm gonna be using it for. But yeah, really nice. Let's put all that back in there. The radio works, but these speakers are aftermarket, so they don't really like themselves. So sometimes the passenger side will not work, even when you want it to. And everything works as intended, but one time I did get a CD stuck in here, and it didn't want to come out for like 2 weeks, and then finally no, it wasn't 2 weeks, it was like a day. And then that same night, I was just pressing the eject button, and it finally ejected the CD, and it was a 3 Days Grace CD. I really love 3 Days Grace. It was the 1X album, but the only song that it was missing was Animal I've Become, which is one of my most favorite songs from that album. But let's not get distracted and still talk about the radio. But before I got this truck, literally like 2 months before, me and my cousin came in here because this interior was completely trashed from my uncle putting trash in here. But we really messed up a lot of stuff in this truck because we were just destroying things. The button of this cap for the tow haul mode came off when we were doing that. This number 3 selection button kind of came out, kind of like that. But we were able to just click it back in, and I mean, it still works. It just doesn't want to do what it wants to do. Like, it's still there. It's just very wobbly. All the other buttons are okay. You could still see some wear and tear, like, on the bottom edges right here. Overall, very nice truck, though. Like, I'm not too unhappy about this. It's got roll windows, no power windows, so I'm just going to have to do that every time I want to go to a drive-through. But I have kind of mastered going up and down because that's what you get with an old truck. I mean, it's got cruise control. It's only got a horn. See? It's got a horn. But, yeah, I mean, it's a 2004 Ram 1500 with the most basic trim model and basic truck you can get. But, yeah, let's start this thing up here soon. Alright, putting the key ignition here. It does have the old beep, but let's have the fuel pump prime. All the lights come on in the dash. Alright, anyway, let's start this truck up. No hesitation whatsoever. Let's pop the hood and give this little sucker a whirl. Here's the 4.7 Magnum. She's running beautifully. You can still hear the lifter tick at the average Dodge. This is Dodge, signature Dodge move right here. The lifter tick. Let's not put my finger in the fan, but overall, a great running truck. Let's put this thing in one-time zoom so you can get a better picture of this, but let's go back to 0.5. 0.5, you can get a better view of this, but don't put my finger in the camera like that. I don't want to do that. But yeah, this thing It sounds really cool. Really beautiful truck. I don't have any problems with it. It's my first truck. I'm only, what, 14, almost 15 years old now. And I know a decent amount of stuff about this truck because, you know, replaced the rear end, got new front hubs, replaced the entire brake line system, put new spark plugs, changed the oil, and just, I've really done a lot to this truck. What I need to get now is, as you can see, the Dodge emblem that is supposed to be on the rim is gone, and it's been gone ever since I got the truck. I don't know how that happened, but overall, really cool truck. Has some flaws, but you know, that comes with buying an old truck. Even every truck's gonna have its flaws, and just genuinely, yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. Thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in to the end of the video. And if you did make it to the end of the video while watching, please like and subscribe and put a thumbs up. Just put a thumbs up. Just put a little thumbs up emoji down in the comment section below if you watched this video all the way to the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the first video on this channel, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great, wonderful rest of your days. Goodbye.